This morning I was talking with a fellow meditator at 7 a.m. meditation here at Lotus Center. You may know that we have meditation 7 mornings a week from 7 a.m. to 7:45. And there was one other person here for meditation this morning, one other person besides me. And he's a longtime meditator, started meditating at IMS, Insight Meditation Society. And we were just talking about the importance of Sangha. It is in in Buddhism. I think most of you know that there are 3 jewels: Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. And Sangha is spiritual community. And it is just, my friend this morning, Bob Adams, and I were just talking about the indispensability of Sangha. And I just found myself feeling especially grateful for our group this morning. We've got, on any particular morning, we'll have, 8 or 9 people. But we've got 14 or 15 regulars that kind of drop in and rotate through at different times. And that's really noteworthy and really wonderful, I would say, that we have a group that gets together consistently twice a week to meditate and study together. And I just wanted to share with you what a special gift that is for me, and invite you to just recognize the fact that we do, in fact, have Sangha, and and just invite you to examine, consider what that means to you, what it means to have a spiritual community with whom you can commune twice a week. And it's really more than just twice a week, I think. It is, we can carry Sangha with us all the time throughout our day, no matter what we're doing. 7 days a week, 365 days a year. That foundation of support is always there, whether we're meeting together in person or not. So thank you for indulging me in that share. We have a Sangha, and we have a Sangha with a broken camera for the facilitator. So are you guys okay? I just saw some movement, so I can see you. If I've got this, it looks like I'm going to be bouncing in and out this morning, so please excuse that. Why don't we go ahead and settle in for some meditation? And Tina, welcome back. It's so nice to have you back. Let's go ahead and settle in for some meditation. And when you're ready, please go ahead and gently transition into meditation on the inner body. It may be in your practice of meditation on the inner body that you bring your awareness to sensations in so-called isolated parts of your body. If this is the nature of your practice, please know that this is a perfectly valid form of practice. Perhaps an even more valid approach is for you to observe one universal sensation, one sensation that extends from the crown of your head to the tips of your fingers and the soles of your feet, and all space in between. Whichever is your method of practice, please just continue to silently observe. No judgment, no labeling, no impatience, no expectation. if your hands are folded together and resting in your lap, I would invite you to observe that it may be difficult for you to identify where your left hand ends and your right hand begins. It may be that your hands are resting on top of your legs. If this is your hand position, you may find it difficult to identify where legs end and hands begin. It may also be that internal organs within this entity called physical body have disappeared. It may be that your stomach, kidneys, liver, and so forth no longer appear to your mind. This is an extremely important and meaningful experience, an experience that points toward the emptiness of body. Whatever your experience may be, please continue to be the silent observer of sensations within your own body mountain. Please allow your consciousness to become less absorbed as you begin to arise from meditation. We dedicate all of the merit from this morning's meditation to world peace. May all beings, without exception, be completely and permanently freed from all forms of emotional and physical suffering. May all beings, without exception, be happy, peaceful, contented, and free. And may every single action of body, speech, and mind that we as practitioners engage in, may every single action of body, speech, and mind be motivated by loving kindness and compassion. Completely fill up your belly and lungs with air, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes and bring your meditation to an end. Okay. So, welcome back, everyone. Using a different camera here. I'm not sure which is worse. Does this internal camera make me look fat? No, just kidding. Just kidding. Just wanted to remind you, and by the way, in case you're wondering, what's that thing in the middle of his face? That's a bracket. You know what I can do? I can just like take this away since this camera isn't working anyways. So there we go, a little bit better. There is no substitute for meditating by yourself, and there's no substitute for meditating with others. Any chance that you get, we've got our Monday and Friday meditations. And just a reminder that, as I mentioned earlier this morning, we have 7 a.m. meditation here at Lotus Center, 7 mornings a week. It goes from 7 to 7:45. And kind of in the wintertime, these short days, getting up and going out in the cold and in the dark to go to 7 a.m. meditation is a tall order, no doubt. And it's not always going to be cold and dark at 7 a.m. So just planting a seed so that maybe your karma will ripen such that you're able to maybe pop in for some meditation, some group meditation. Someone asked me recently, as they said, 45 minutes for me at this point in my practice is kind of a long time. Is it okay for me to arrive later or leave early? And I really appreciated that question, that sort of acknowledgement that 45 minutes might be a bit long for someone's practice. Arriving late, probably not a good idea. But leaving early, totally fine, totally fine. It happens a lot in a lot of different meditation centers for different reasons. So just know that if 45 minutes is a bit long for you in your practice where you happen to be right now, leaving a little bit early is allowed, assuming that you can bring yourself to get up and out and be here by 7 for start of practice. So anyways, we are on to the 6th perfection, the perfection of wisdom, continuing to ask ourselves throughout our discussion of the perfection of wisdom, wisdom realizing emptiness. What is there? And question number 2, what is really there? To explore these questions, I'd like to kind of take an imaginary field trip, okay? For those of you who live here in or near Silver City, our imaginary field trip is going to be to Lawley Toyota. And Marilee, it's a regular Toyota dealer, right? So we go to, let's say that we like rent a van and we go out to Lawley Toyota on Highway 180, and we get out and I take you to a motor vehicle, and I say, okay, the one that's for sale, of course. What is this? And somebody says, well, it's a car. What do you think it is? It's a car. And somebody else might say, oh, well, actually, it's an SUV. Or maybe they say, actually, it's a pickup truck. And that's different from a car. And I might roll my eyes a little bit. Okay, yeah, that's true. There is that distinction in Western society. Can we just call this thing a car? What is there? A car, we all agree. Okay, and we let go of the SUV pickup truck thing. And so I might ask, okay, and we're going to go through something that's called the pointing out instructions. It's a real thing. It's been practiced in teachings on emptiness for centuries. The pointing out instructions, and I might ask somebody, okay, so point to me and point out to me exactly where the car is. Moving now into the question, what is really there? What is there? A car. What is really there? Point out to me where the car is, please. And somebody points to, let's say that somebody points to the the cover of the engine that's at the front of the car, and they point at this thing and they say, this is the car. And I say, no, well, actually, that's the hood of the car. It's not the car itself. It's a part of the car. It's not the car itself. And I say, okay, well, we want to get to what's really there. What's the foundational, fundamental essence of the car? They get underneath and point at these steel girders that go across the underside, the undercarriage of the car, and say, this is the car. This is the fundamental foundation of the car. What is called the chassis of the car. Let's say, well, no, that's still a part of the car. It's not the car itself, because there are different like parts of like things that are called cross members and the long things. I don't know what the names of those are. That part of the car has parts, and those parts have parts. The car is really a collection of parts. There is the windshield, there are the windshield wipers, there are the windshield wiper blades, there are the windshield washing device, right? That kind of squirts the cleaning fluid out onto the windshield. And then there's the reservoir under the hood where the washing solution is maintained. Part after part after part, really. And those parts have parts. And those parts have parts. And we keep looking down, trying to point out this fundamental, what's really there, car. And all we can come up with are parts to the car. This entity called the car itself disappears when we go to try to find it. All we can find are a collection of parts. And ultimately, we go deeper and deeper. The parts are comprised of, I'm not a physicist or an engineer or anything like that, but the parts have molecules, right? And then those molecules have parts. I guess they're atoms, and they're subatomic parts, and get smaller and smaller, looking for what's really there in car, and car disappears. It disappears in its parts. What's there? A car. What's really there? Absence of car, or an emptiness of car. That's what's really there, y'all. an absence of anything that we can definitively identify as car. That's what's really there, an emptiness of car. It's really subtle but really profound, I think, because we go about our lives saying, you know, what you see is what you get. Car, chair, body, self, me. And actually, when we go to try to find what's really there through the pointing out instructions, all of these phenomena disappear into emptiness, which is what's really there. Emptiness of car, emptiness of chair, emptiness of body. So it might be a helpful, may or may not be a helpful exercise to go through and look for an inanimate object like car through these pointing out instructions. The stakes go higher as we start to look for what's really there with regard to phenomena that are more endear to us, like body, like self, like other. And we'll take that up a little bit more on Monday. What we've gone through thus far, the first of the four profundities of the Heart Sutra, form is empty. Form is empty. What's really there? Emptiness. Form is empty. 9:01. Thank you, guys. I'm going to try to have my camera back and functioning a little better on Monday. So have a great weekend, and thank you for being here.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Jeff.
You're most welcome.
Bye. See you next time.
Okay. Bye, Diana. Bye, Linda.
Bye.